You do have a nail in your head.
It is not about the nail.
Are you sure? Because, I mean, I'll bet if we got that out of there...
Stop trying to fix it.
No, I'm not trying to fix it.
It's not about the nail. This is the video we've been chuckling about for a few days here. You've probably seen it on Facebook.
It was produced by Jason Heder, and in this clip, the wife is complaining about the pain in her head. She has snags in her sweaters, and the husband just wants to fix it. And after he calmly suggests, well, dear, you have snags in your sweaters, you have a pain in your head, maybe you should take out the nail. That's when the wife loses it and hollers out the now famous line, "It's not about the nail." Studio 5 relationship coach Matt Townsend says this viral clip hits the nail on the head.
It's never about the nail.
This is obviously a common husband-wife scenario that you see play out in your practice all the time, but I want to ask you about your personal relationship. Did you watch this with Marty?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. She says that that's us, which I think is rude because it's when there's a nail pulsating right in front of your face, it's about the nail.
Yeah.
It's always about the nail.
Well, women everywhere were laughing their heads off. This is what I found so funny. Women were laughing just as much as men were when this clip kind of went viral. Yeah. Because women recognize this in themselves, but yet we don't do anything to fix it.
Because you have a different reason for talking than we do. Guys aren't going to talk to build rapport. If you want to build rapport, let's get kissy. let's kiss. I know you got a nail there, but we can work it out.
Kissy?
Well, I was going to say something else, but I'm self-restrained.
Okay.
But you want to bond. So part of her issue isn't that she has a nail. It's just know that I'm hurting.
Yeah.
Know that there's pain. Sure, there's this foreign object in my forehead that's obvious to the guy. Now, his goal, though, isn't to build rapport right now. It's to fix. So he's hopeless because he doesn't know what he wants to help her. Men don't just sit there and talk about their pain. I'm sad. You're sad. Me too. We're both sad. Two sad people.
And can I just compliment the actor in that clip?
Oh, that was great.
He portrays the hopelessness and the helplessness so well. He's like, okay, it's not about the nail, so what do I say?
That's right. He's trying to bond with her, so the fastest way a guy would bond with a guy is get that nail out of there.
Yeah, let me fix it for you.
Let's take care of that. Put a little Band-Aid on your forehead and life will be fine. But she wants something different. So I have rules. Can you believe it?
We love when you have rules.
Because this is every conversation on earth, but this is so important. First rule, that we can both be right at the same time. We can both be right.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
It can be. Doesn't always necessarily are.
She wants to be understood.
Yeah.
And he wants to help.
Okay.
Those two needs can coexist in one conversation. Okay. But what we end up fighting about is your need versus my need. And so he ends up trying to fix it without understanding it, what she's coming from. And she just assumes that there's no other problem but hers.
But so how does the other person feel validated in their need?
No, you'd have to go, he'd have to go with her.
Being right. You just have to.
Yeah, see, because at the minute, by the way, most of things in life we argue about, I think I've told you this a billion times, 90% of the time you'll agree.
You said that just like my father.
Did I?
I've told you that.
Your dad's been calling me, by the way. He says, will you get Brooke to understand
most of the times you agree.
We agree. If I take a couple that's fighting and dueling over something, they both agree. If I actually break it down into pieces, I can get you to agree to 90% of the pieces. It's the 10% we don't agree. So what she doesn't agree with is that she doesn't think he gets it because he never took any time to show that he got it. So if he would take some time up front before he fixes the obvious and show her he's with her, then he can show her she's right.
Like, honey, I'm so sorry your sweaters are snagging.
Tell me about why that bugs you. Tell me what happened. Well, it's hard to pull your shirt over your head and have it snag. In your head, you're like, answer, there's an answer.
But you just listen is the goal.
So you're frustrated and it exhausts you and you're going through clothes like crazy and it's costing you a lot of money. Tell me more and let her talk. And if she'll talk it out, her energy will go down, which will open her up, and then he'll say, you know what, I think I could help you. You ready for some help?
After you've listened
and then if she can recognize his need is to help, we could solve this. This isn't brain surgery.
It's just a nail in the head.
No pun intended. It might need brain surgery. The next one is recognize what your partner really needs in a conversation. They have different needs. My wife's need is not usually to move to solution. Mine is. Part of it is to let's just get this over with. Because I don't know how long this is going to go. And so one of the things is if my wife starts telling me, oh, I had the worst day, I kind of ask even sometimes, do you want advice? Or do you just want to talk about it?
You ask that up front? Yeah.
And she'll usually say, let's just talk. It's interesting.
She's like honest about it, because sometimes they'll say, oh, I want some help, but they really don't.
I think women mostly are honest about it. That's what's so funny. I mean, I talk about their reaction to this clip. Most women recognize this in themselves.
They get it. They get it. And it doesn't make it wrong. It just makes it different. We just come at it a different way. She's trying to get you to, she wants to know you care before she'll take any of your advice. And he doesn't quite get that this care side, of course he cares, he's still here.
Yeah.
He still lives with you. He still wakes up every morning and he lets you wash his clothes. Of course I care.
It's nice of him.
If I didn't care, I'd be with someone else. I'm here. Now, shut your mouth and let's fix that nail in your head. But his need, notice too, is action. He needs to be helping to do something.
Right.
His measurement will be by doing, not just by talking
What's
about
rule number 3, Mr.
Rule number
Matt?
3. We have to be using today's interactions to improve tomorrow's. So learn by using today's interactions to improve tomorrow's. We have to learn how to do this, meaning if we had the fight over the nail, we shouldn't have another fight similar to this. We should tie it down and maybe make a rule about this. Like, babe, if what you need from me is understanding, will you just start right up front and say, hey, can I just get you to hear me out a few minutes about my feelings? Then we'll fix whatever the problems are.
Yeah.
And we make a rule. Like my wife, Marty, was thinking that I am on my phone and my iPad too much.
Can't imagine that.
I'd have to vote on Marty's team.
Well, but I was sitting there saying, I'm pretty sure you're on it even more than I am. And we had a little battle over this to the point that she said, why are we even talking about this? This is useless to talk about. That was just like 3 days ago. So I said, so do you want me to just start pointing out every time you're on your phone?
Oh, that's going to go over well.
And she said, yeah, sure, bring it on. Tough guy. So I started pointing it out, and it was a lot. It was like every 10 minutes. But she always had a reason, and it's not, so what I was trying to show is, let me give you real data. Real data is every time I see you're on it, I'm just going to point it out. Then we'll document there's real data here.
And?
So we laughed about it, and now we get that we're both on our stuff too much.
You both admitted you're in the middle.
Even last night we made a rule. We went to bed, we turned them off, and I go, okay, let's talk, and we were just like, hi. There's nothing to say. There's nothing to say. That's right, yeah. But so what we did is we tried to make a rule. So now instead of having the technology fight, let's just agree that we're both on it too much. Let's just make some rules like at night, let's not go to bed with just the 4 of us.
Yeah.
Technology and each other. So with every time you have a little fight or a breakdown, now that we understand our differences, let's make a rule for how we approach it.
Yeah.
Like if you don't want feedback, or if you don't want to have it fixed, just say, I don't need anything fixed. Let me get 2 minutes and just tell you how I feel about this thing in my head.
I love it. It's not about the nail. A hilarious video. We just showed you a small snippet of it. You want to look it up on YouTube and watch the whole thing. It's about 2 minutes. You'll laugh your head off. It's really fun.
Yep, you'll laugh, you'll cry.
Thanks for the
Speaking of
insight.
that, you got a great event coming up, especially for teens, right?
It's really cool. We just had a date night Saturday, but this one's for teens. So on July 16th, 2013, it's a Tuesday in the morning, 9 to noon. We're inviting teenagers, 14 to 19-year-old, to come learn skills to build self-esteem.
That'll be
We're
great.
going to have them identify what their strengths are. We're going to give them tools to actually, and homework assignments and things to do to go home and actually identify what their core strengths are and how to grow your self-worth. So if you have a teen out there that you know needs a little self-esteem help, send them. It's $25 per teen, or if you get a bunch of friends together, it's $20 a kid.
And is
we'll
this
take them for 3 hours.
With their parent, or
Nope.
is this just teens?
You just send your teens.
Okay.
And
That's
we'll
brilliant.
watch them, we'll take over, we'll care for them, we'll give them some food and some self-esteem.
There will be Cheetos.
You know, because the thing is, I imagine a lot of teens, even though they don't need self-esteem, get to when they're 19 and they're like, oh, I'm not really sure what to do now.
Who
This
am
sort
I?
of gives
What
them
am I
that
going to
great
do?
foundation
Exactly. And
early
in fact,
on.
this morning, 3 clients, all teens, not knowing how to move forward.
Wow.
So it's great for the 17, 18, 19-year-olds.
Really good one. Great information on our website.
Thanks.
If you want more about it. Dave, thanks, Matt.
Thanks,
We'll be
Dave.
back with more on Studio 5.
And it's not about the nail.